Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always.
Yo.
Tuesday, mid-June. Chris Paul still in the playoffs.
Man.
We got to show the Suns love, give them their flowers. They just swept up the Nuggets. We'll talk about that. We're talking all NBA playoffs. Clippers are all of a sudden looking like the team that everybody wanted them to look when, they went and acquired Paul George, Kawhi, and the gang. They've tied it up 2-2. Everybody's tied 2-2.
Yep.
So we're gonna go through all those series. We got the Clippers, Jazz, Nets, Bucks. That's all of a sudden flipped on its head as well.
Real
and then,
interesting.
we'll talk Philly, Atlanta. Does Atlanta really have a chance, or was yesterday the last hurrah? But we'll get into it all. Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
What's going on? How we feeling?
I'm good. What's the word?
Man, I just read some crazy shit. Did you see this Vince Wilfork shit?
Nah, Vince?
Yeah, shout out Vince Wilfork. So I guess in May 2020,
this is your first take Tuesday?
Yeah, all day. This shit is crazy. So I guess last May his Super Bowl rings got stolen, right? Yeah. He didn't know where they were. Or I'm sorry, he couldn't find them. He thought they were in storage, whatever. He didn't report. He's like, they might be in storage.
He's like, I just can't find them.
Can't find them.
They'll come up, whatever. Right.
Gets a message from a fan not too long ago saying, hey, I got your Super Bowl rings. Like, I bought them online. Long story short, Vince Wilfork's son had stolen his Super Bowl rings and then sold them for $63,000 or somebody. And now his son is in jail for it. Just got arrested today. Now Vince went to go look for some other shit. He's missing some Miami. Whatever they won, a conference championship ring. He's missing 2 AFC championship rings. And he's missing some jewelry. His son
Wait a minute.
His son is currently locked up for this right now. I literally just read this right before we came on. I got the Bleacher Report notification. His son DeAndre, who is, let's see, this how old he is.
Vince Wilfork's son is stealing his shit out the crib and selling it. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions on why, but
$300,000 bond.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you putting your son in jail for that?
It might have been out of his hands at that point. Once he got the message, he probably filed a police report, and when it turned up where they came from, the police are going to go arrest. You know what I mean? So it's not unclear if he pressed charges.
Yeah, you know what
I'm saying? I think once you file that police report, it's out of your hand because they found your shit.
No, but you filed it though. You could drop all that. You got to be able to drop all that. We need to call Eli up.
I don't know.
Get a lawyer on the hook.
So first of all, no. The answer to your question is no. I would never.
Yeah.
But that's some foul shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's some super foul shit. And he only sold the rings for $60,000. Like what?
First off, how many Super Bowls does Wilfork have? 3?
I think he had 2. I think he had the 2.
2.
Yeah.
Big Vince.
So he sold both of his rings.
Man.
Noticed them missing in May 2020, but did not immediately report the items stolen because he thought they were in storage. However, a Patriots fan sent him a message when someone posted online about acquiring the rings.
Pats fans I got your shit, bro.
Oh, no, the person I'm sorry. Hold on. You might be right. So the person told Vince Wilfork that he purchased them from his son.
Right.
And so, Vince might have made that call.
Vince might have had him come. Yeah, Steve, bro, look.
That's
now, I'm not talking on nobody's family and their family dynamics, but that makes it seem like that relationship is not the tightest. And he has been known. That's such a weird thing to do because
I hopped on the Instagram though, and like they post pictures of each other. So it doesn't look like it's a strained relationship.
So this tough love?
Yeah, maybe that's why. He's like, what? You stole my shit? What? So, that's crazy to me.
How old? Does he say how old he is?
Nah, but his son probably, like, judging on his Instagram, probably looks like he's 20, old enough to know better for sure, 27, 28. I mean, he's married with kids.
Yeah, wow. What a crazy
his son is married with a kid. His son is definitely 27.
Yeah, maybe Vince cut him off. Like, yo, I can't help you out.
Maybe. I don't know,
help you out
man.
with the bread no more.
So let me ask you this. So Vince Wilfork got the rings back, right?
Yeah.
So if you're Vince, are you paying that fan $63,000? You giving them their money back at the very least, or you're just like, nah, I need my shit back. That's on you. That's an L. Or you meet them halfway. Like, what are you doing if you're Vince in that situation?
How do you get your shit back?
You want your shit back, right? Like, I would want my shit back.
Right.
And I'm assuming that 60, I mean, it's a lot of money, but Vince has it.
My guess is that he could go to court, especially. Maybe that's his
because it's stolen property.
His plan. Yeah, exactly. So, like the OJ shit.
Yeah, true. Secondly, you are in possession of stolen property at that point in time.
You just don't pull up with the strap talking about nobody move.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't do the OJ shit. Yeah,
don't do the OJ shit. And yeah, so my guess is you would go to court, and then
she did pull up with the strap in the hotel room.
Up, said nobody move.
This is my shit.
He said, I need the Heisman back. All that.
I need all that. Yeah. So what are you doing? Like if you're so I'm saying if it happened to Sean,
you know
what are you
doing? Maybe you have to. Maybe you have to. Maybe you have to get your. Maybe you have to get the person arrested to get your shit back for free. Does that make sense? So like the son has to return the money to the buyer, and then the buyer returns the goods to its rightful owner.
So who's paying his $300,000 bill? Vince Wilfork?
Maybe that motherfucker got to sit in jail till shit jump.
You're gonna learn about stealing my shit.
Right.
and while we're at it, where's the rest of my shit? Because that's the problem. You're not gonna recover the necklace. You know what I mean? Like, the rings are are shit you can prove is I wonder if I got insurance.
I wonder what the fans' angle was on that, just to like needle him, or was he gonna try to flip him back to him? Like, yo, I got your shit. Give me.
I have no idea.
Give me 110.
I wouldn't have said shit. That would have went in the case.
Right.
Hey. I don't know, but I saw that right before we hopped on. And I was just like, damn,
that's interesting.
It's a cold world.
Cold world. Super cold world.
And also, would you pay $30,000 for a Bears Super Bowl ring?
From a guy
from a Vince Wilfork-esque player.
Yeah.
So it had to be like a corner. I mean, he was a cornerstone on those teams, right? So yeah.
Yeah, he was a good defensive player on those teams.
Yeah, he was a great defensive player.
If I think it's gonna hold its value or could go up, yeah. I'm not a collector enough to grab some shit like that and just put it in my basement and be like, here it is type shit.
Yeah.
But if I think it's a sound investment, yeah, maybe I would. You know what I'm saying?
Vince Wilfork's son, cold-blooded.
Yeah, cold-blooded. Shout out,
cold-blooded.
Shout out Vince, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Vince Wilfork. I fucked
He made that call.
Yeah, hey, I know exactly where he's at.
I know exactly where he's at. I can get him over here right now if you want me
to. All right, that's I don't have a first take. I love that first take. I had a good weekend. Everything was cool. Shout out my guy Said. He came in town. I went to the Cubs game. I went to the Cubs game first time full capacity.
Yeah, how was that?
On Friday. It was jammed. It was fun. Lots of energy.
Couldn't you move around the stadium, or are you like sectioned based on where your seat is?
No mask, no, nothing, no rules.
Nothing.
It was regular.
It was just regular.
Yeah, it was regular. Okay. Regular, bro. It was regular. Yeah. So it was cool. All right, let's get into these NBA playoffs, man. Where you want to start? Phoenix, right?
Yeah. I think we got to give Phoenix their flowers. We've been on the Suns all year. For a good part of the year, we've been on the Suns. We've been on Chris Paul for sure.
Yes.
So I think we need to give them their flowers.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Suns absolutely handle business. Now let's be honest, against a shorthanded Denver squad. But like we say, tuck them in if they're shorthanded. Then sweep them up.
Still got the league MVP playing.
Sweep them up then.
Yep.
If they're shorthanded, that's exactly what Phoenix did.
Exactly what they did.
They took care of business. 4 straight.
Never in doubt at all.
2 in Phoenix, 2 on the road in Denver. Phoenix in 4. Shout out my man that whooped the 2 Denver fans at home.
Dog, that was great.
You saw that clip, right?
That was great. And the best part about it was that Buddy tried to sneak punch him. You know what I mean? He came with let me put away my phone, and then just like that. And then dude was just whooping his ass, talking shit. He looked over at his boy. He goes, "I'm whooping your boy." Like, Suns and foe.
Suns and foe. Yo, if everybody listening, if y'all didn't catch that.
Your boy right now.
If y'all didn't catch that, make sure y'all go hop on Twitter and go through and look up. Just type in Suns and foe. Suns and four. It'll come up. The best part of that video is when my man is uppercutting Buddy. He stops, but he's still holding him. Looks over at his other buddy like, yo, y'all need to get up out of here. And he gives him one more uppercut, like in the middle of the sentence. You know what I'm saying?
He said, I'm whooping your boy. Like, he looked at like, what are y'all going to do?
His boy got to help him.
Yeah. Oh, who talking about Slim Jesus?
The buddy that was just standing there.
Yeah. Dude that looks like Slim Jesus. Yeah, he got the fuck up out of there.
He should have jumped.
Well, he started it. From what it looks like, he started it too. The original smoke seemed to be with him. And then this dude came over, hit him with the sneak punch that didn't do anything, and then Buddy just gave it to him. Really gave it to him. Oh, yeah. Told you how many games the Suns were going to win in. Told you that he's whooping your mans right now. Whoop Buddy in the Jamal Murray jersey.
The whole thing, bro.
The whole thing, man. So, yeah, shout out to him. You hear that Devin Booker's looking for him?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. He tweeted him like, yo, I need my man's info.
Yeah, get him the tickets. Dog, he should be at every Suns game going forward.
He said they should have him and the gorilla on the floor.
And that was in Denver, right?
That was in Denver.
That was game 3, yeah. So absolutely, fly him out. Hey man, fly him out to Sky Harbor. You know what I mean? Put him up somewhere nice.
Put him up
in the Phoenician, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
let him chill. Yeah.
Yeah. First time the Suns are back in the Western Conference Finals since 2010. They took care of business all on the back of Chris Paul. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. If Chris Paul wants to start scoring 30,
37 to be exact,
motherfucker's in trouble. So, what'd you think of the series?
Well, and I think you put it perfectly when he decides he wants to. That's the thing with Chris Paul. I decide I want this game. I want to close him out. I need the rest. These other series are looking like they're gonna go 7, so we might get a week and some change off here. Like, let's go in there and handle business. I'm going to drop 37 and remind motherfuckers that I can still do that. I can still get busy. I'm a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, dude, the Suns to me, like, they just know what they want to do. They're complete. All those guys are ready. It doesn't matter that it's Book's first time in the playoffs. It doesn't matter that it's Aiden's first time in the playoffs. We talked about him before. You know, he's like the pinnacle of the rim running big. And just the fact that he's just always where he needs to be. Bridges, solid 3-and-D guy. Jay Crowder, who is available for the playoffs as usual every single year. Boss Man 99. Like,
no matter what team it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what team it is. Like, he's in the playoffs every year, like doing his thing. And I know I gave him smoke last year. I apologize to Boss Man 99. Like, salute. He's a favorite of the pod now. I mean, their depth, their coaching, like they just know exactly what they want to do. And again, with Chris Paul, you're not going to lose a game over some dumb shit. Like, it's just not going to happen because he's going to make the right plays. He's going to make the right. Other than that, Houston, LA game 5 was like 8 years ago when they lost big. But yeah, I mean,
he had 37 on 14.
37 on 14 and 19.
7 dimes, complete and utter control. Oldest player, shout out StatMuse. That's a good follow. If y'all don't follow us at StatMuse on Twitter, go check them out. You've probably seen them. They do the little graphics of the players' heads. It's like artwork. But they tweeted out oldest player with 35 plus points on 70% shooting in a playoff game since 1965. It's easy. Chris Paul at 36 years old, 38 days, ahead of just a little bit older than Kareem at 36 years old and 10 days, and LeBron at 35 and 284 days. So point guard still doing his thing in a major way. Him and Devin Booker leading the way. I tweeted this out. The biggest thing about all this is Chris Paul is going to get some rest.
Yep.
They're going to go relax. And it looks like the rest of these series are at least going 6. Some may go 7. So they're going to be able to get a ton of rest.
He's going to get exactly what he needs. Shoulder will be 110%.
Go study up exactly what they got to do on both opponents if they need to. The plenty of time to just go regroup and make that real push. 8 more wins.
What do you think's a better matchup for them?
I think the Clippers are a better matchup for them because the Clippers are dumb soft inside. And They've just tend to show more lulls than the Jazz for me. Yeah. But in the same breath, I've been watching the Jazz the last 2 games. Apparently, when they leave Utah, they don't play the same basketball.
Not at all.
So it's close. Man, something about the Jazz, I just don't like when they're clicking. How about this?
If they're hitting threes, they're unstoppable.
Exactly. And that's what I mean by clicking. When they're clicking, they're probably the most dangerous team left.
Yeah. If Clarkson's doing his thing, Mr. Greenlight.
They can just explode on you and just, man, you're just like, what the fuck? We can't do anything with these boys. So I would say the Clippers are a better matchup, but not by much.
Yeah.
Because Paul George is playing ball. We'll get to them. We'll get to the Clippers, but big love to Phoenix. He's a closer. We've been talking about that. He closed out the second half. At one point, he had 8 consecutive jumpers in 10 minutes. If you watch the game, they were all mid-range. Yep. They were. I mean, and it was just like net, bottoms
every time.
I do want to another thing before we move off this Phoenix, because that's just a sweep. It's done and dusted. I do want to talk about the Jokic ejection.
Sure.
Where are you at with these flagrant twos? Because I'm on record. I tweeted out the other day. It's to the point now where give up the bucket.
Yeah.
Don't even touch. Yo, nah, bro. Give up the fucking basket because you're getting ready to give up 2 and the rock. So just go ahead, let these boys lay it up and go about the next possession. So because if you're not making, it's to the point where you can make a clear attempt to get the ball, but if it's too aggressive, it's a flagrant. It used to be like, okay, no motion at the rock, this, that, and the third, it's a flagrant.
I feel that way.
Like that whole wrapping shit up, you can't even wrap nobody up anymore.
Yeah, I feel that way 100% on the flagrant ones. The flagrant one situation has gotten absolutely out of control in the NBA. Anything that's not like a traditional foul now is a flagrant one. The Joker shit, I have like 2 different ways of looking at this. Number one, under no circumstance can you eject the league MVP in that situation, right? Like there's superstars have different rules. They get different treatment. Like you cannot kick him out the game in that situation. No way.
I just don't think
I will say this though. Watching the replay a bunch of times, he does wind up, which is the one thing that they told you cannot make a complete, it's not a basketball move in any sense. Like you're not swatting at the ball. You know you're not going to get the ball when you do that. Like he straight up pulled his hand back and flung it forward as hard as he could. So in that sense,
you can see the frustration in his face.
It wasn't basketball. So if you go back and you rewatch that on the replay and you're the ref and you're like, man, if I'm supposed to interpret the rule like how it's written, that is a flagrant 2. I just think for Jokic, it's a flagrant 1. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't be ejected out the game. But when I first saw it, I was like, that's whack. Like, he was just going for the ball hard. Maybe a flagrant 1. Definitely a foul, obviously, right? But when they slow it down and you really see him just come with the cock back, and then like he looks like he's about to slam the basketball, like he's like and then comes down with it hard. It's like you're hitting somebody on the court, and that's the rule. So like on one hand, it's soft because he's the league MVP, but like if fucking I don't know, give me a player did that, like they're gonna get ejected. Someone who's not the MVP would get ejected. See what I'm saying? Like it needs a
dog.
flagrant 1 on the MVP of the league.
For you to get ejected in a playoff game, it needs to be so fucking egregious for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's like, we used to talk about ejections like motherfuckers getting in fights.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he got to go. He throwing punches. Like, come on, man. It's not any. The thing about a lot of these referees and situations like that is, I always feel like people lose the human element of everything and they just reading straight off the rule book. It's like, yeah, sure, in the rule book, this would be an ejection, but like, let's get real here on what's going on. Like, he has no background of being an aggressive, dirty dude. He got frustrated, tried to swipe the ball hard, give him a flagrant 1, and let's keep it moving. He didn't mean to hit him in the face like that.
But
I'm, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is for me. There's like shit that has intention versus non-intention. He's not trying to hit him in the head.
For sure.
Come on, man.
But at the same time, like, how do you train a ref to be that way though, right? Like, you want them to be consistent, or else you're wild and inconsistent, and then you're the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously, then literally every time you throw the ball, you don't know what pass interference is. Like, I mean, that's what happens. So it's kind of like there needs to be superstar rules should be understood.
We're talking about ejections though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about getting ejected from the game. It has to be so egregious for me. I think this shit is just very, very, very soft now. These dudes are doing more to protect like head trauma and shit than the NFL.
So let me ask you a question then. So what if he had done that, right? But let's just say he was like an inch into the inside of his body more, right? So he grazed his nose. Let's say it was so hard and so in that he came across his whole face like this. At that point, is it an ejection? Because it's the same exact act.
Right.
He's not aiming when he does this, right? So it's the same exact act. So if he does that and it happens to catch campaign like on the real front of the face to where he can actually break his nose, like whatever it is, because Jokic is 7 foot, 270 pounds, right? Yep. So at that point, is it a flagrant 2? That would be my question. It's like, yo, does it matter where he hits? Does it matter where it lands?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do think it does.
So it has to be part. So it can't be the tip of the face. It has to be the whole face.
So then tell me this: why isn't Embiid getting ejected for hitting Trey at the top of his head on a layup? He wound up, smacked him right on top of his head.
Yeah,
that's an ejection, right? It's like I don't know, man. That shit is all soft. It's not intentional. He was frustrated. He wanted the foul campaign, and he was swiping at the ball, and he swiped his face. That's not an automatic ejection for me.
But you're saying if he had swiped his face and hit him in the eye, that's an ejection?
I'm saying for you to get ejected for hitting someone, you have to intentionally be trying to hit them in the head.
Okay.
Like Draymond Green when he was blatantly kicking people in the nuts.
Yeah, sure.
Like those are suspensions and ejections. Like that should not for me, man. Like
not the frustration.
For example, shout out John Collins. If that foul he took from Simmons, if he acts a little bit and hits the support beam and rolls around, Ben Simmons gets ejected yesterday.
Can you get more than one flagrant 1 in a game?
No.
So it's just like a tech.
2 flagrant 1s is an ejection.
Is an ejection. Okay.
Yeah.
So why not just call everything a technical foul? Because you don't want to do the free throws? Or
because it's not a technical play. Technical is cursing niggas out, like that type of shit. Yelling at people, screaming, technical.
Nothing that's bad.
Nothing that has to do with the game type of thing.
Yeah.
Calling people bitches, like that type of shit.
No, you can definitely. I don't know. Jimmy Butler was calling Cat a bitch all day on the floor. I think he was all good.
It all depends. But yeah, that shit's really soft. And
you can't eject the MVP in a playoff game.
I agree. And if I'm the coach and if it's early in the game, I'm saying, yo, man, or early enough, give that layup up because we don't want to give them 2 and the rock back. So just let him lay it up. Don't even risk the clear path and all that other shit. Like just give up the bucket and let's keep it moving. Because what are we at right now, bro? 60-70% of these reviews are flagrants.
Yeah.
Like if it goes to the monitor, that shit coming back a flagrant, bro. Like that's it.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, man. But shout out the Suns. Quick little sweep. I saw a funny ass video on Twitter. This old guy, Phoenix Suns fan, swept up some McDonald's chicken nuggets, swept them out the door.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny. So go check that out. And then we'll move over to the Clippers. Shout out Chris Paul, the boys, D-Book. That's who I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
That's who I want to win the title. I ain't gonna flex. I'm rooting for them the whole way through. Whoever they play.
I got them, then I got Philly. I would love to see a Phoenix-Philly final. It's not gonna happen, but
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Good defense, 2 black coaches. Man, win-win.
Win-win.
Shout out Doc.
All right, let's move over to the Clippers. Jazz. It's 2-2 now. Clippers may be starting to look like the team that they were trying to put together on paper. Chris Paul and Paul George, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are starting to go for 30 apiece together.
Yep. As they should.
As they should and as they need them to do. I don't know what's got into Kawhi Leonard. I never seen him punch this much going to like.
Oh my God!
I never seen him go at people's heads and punch this much.
And those favors, right? He needs to get out of the way.
That's like the third. That's like the third one of the playoffs where he.
Well, that's what they say. That's why he load manages, man. So when it comes playoff time, he's able to do that. He reaches in, he gets the superpowers. You take off 20 games during the regular season, you got that in you. Listen, man, he takes the load management shit like the people who are anti it and makes the argument for it every night in the playoffs. He's like, you think I care about some regular season game in December? No, because when I come to the playoffs, I'm going to get 37. I'm going to hit flatline jumpers, and I'm yoking on people. We'll talk about this later. So that's how I feel about that. But yeah, he's punching it like crazy now. I think that's his way of showing like aggression. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to say anything. He's not going to talk shit, but he starts going to the cup like that. But that's his way of like, yeah.
You haven't really seen it like this, man. He is flushing on folks, putting people in a basket. So, and they've gotten some help from Reggie Jackson as well. He had a bad game yesterday, but they were rolling, so it didn't matter. How did we get here? How do you feel about it now? It's now tied 2-2. Donovan Mitchell has been going crazy the whole series. Yep. He once again had 37 last night. Do they miss Mike Conley on the road?
Yes.
What's going on? How you feel about it?
That is it, Mike Conley. I think with Utah, so we look at the series, right? The Clippers, depending on where you rank Mitchell, the Clippers have the two best players in the series, right? They definitely have two of the best three players in the series, right? So I think with Utah, without Conley kind of putting everything together for them, like he's kind of that heart and soul player. Like it says a lot when they get 37 from Mitchell and they still lose the game by 14 points. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like for Utah to work and to beat a Clippers team when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are firing all cylinders, they need that extra guy. And that extra guy is, I mean, he's not even an extra guy. He's a fucking all-star. But that next dude is Mike Conley, right? Like even for as good as Gobert is, he's not a scorer, right? The rest of those guys kind of score in rhythm. Jordan Clarkson, like you know what he is. If he's hot, for sure, he is that second guy for you. If he's not, it's a long night for him, right? He's going to keep shooting. God bless him. But without Conley in there, without that 17 points a game, the 7 assists, the heady defensive plays, putting it all together for them on offense and initiating everything, they have games like last night.
Even when shit starts to get out of whack a little bit, Conley can come in and kind of
exactly. Like we can't praise Chris Paul in the last segment and then pretend like the Mike Conley injury doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Smart point guards like that, like veterans who make a difference, who understand the game, who've played in a lot of playoff basketball, like they're able to do things to slow down runs. They're able to do things to get you out of a rut. And I think without him, no matter what Mitchell does, and he's been incredible, it's going to be tough for them. Now, with that being said, if they come out at Game 5 back in Utah hitting threes, you already know what the result's going to be. But I think when they get outside of that building, it can get tough for them.
Well,
especially without Conley. But they have home court advantage, so it might be a moot point because this one looks like a 7-game series to me.
Yeah, it looks very 7-game-ish.
It's very seven-ish.
Very 7-ish. I mean, I'm going to tell you this. If Marcus Morris is going to give you 22 in the first half, you're never going to beat the Clippers ever.
Ever.
They would go 82-0.
Right.
If Marcus Morris is going to give you 22 points in the first half, and then you got PG and Kawhi giving you 30, you're never, ever, ever going to beat those dudes. So Marcus Morris showed up in a major way. That was from tape to tape. Clippers went up 10-2 and then never looked back to the whole way.
And you can't, and that's a great point because you can't let a third Clipper get in the mix. Like Utah's biggest thing is how many guys they have that can beat you. But if the third or fourth best player in the game ends up being another Clipper, that's when it gets really problematic for the Jazz. You know what I mean? And that's when it's like, okay, yeah, Mitchell can do 45 points, but if you're getting 30 from Leonard, 30 from George, and 25 from player X, like, that's 85 points right there that you got to account that you're already down. You know what I mean? So
of the top 5 players, having the if you had to rank the players from each game, every performance, the Jazz need to have 3 of the top 5.
Exactly. Yep.
Without
100%. 100%. It can't be a Clipper.
It needs to be Mitchell, Kawhi, Paul, Bogdanovich, Clarkson, Gobert,
whoever,
and another Jazz.
Joe Ingles,
Right. Joe Ingles.
Right, I don't know why I always want to call him Ingles, but Joe Ingles, like whoever it might be. Yeah, it has to be a Utah Jazz player. If you let another Clipper sneak in there, and that's the problem with the Clippers. Like they have these guys that can either come out and give you 25 or be complete zeros in the next game, like Morris,
Reggie Jackson,
like Pat Bev isn't really going to score like that, but even like a Terrence Mann, right? Terrence Mann will have games where he's out there and he looks great, and then the next game he looks terrible. So
or like Batum can go 5 of 8 from 3, and then all of a sudden he's 1 for 9. Yeah, exactly.
So also, you can't have the Morris 24-point game.
Also, I thought it's interesting. Rajon Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins are completely benched now. He's now running Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, and Pat Beverly is now getting some run again.
Yeah.
So
Cousins gave him some good minutes. It was a couple games. It was like game
he
2.
did give him a couple of good minutes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean,
that Luke Kennard spreads the floor a little bit. Pat Bev bothers some motherfuckers. And
Luke Kennard sucks.
Can give Kawhi a little break on the perimeter with Paul. So
how did Luke Kennard get $64 million to join this basketball team? He's not even he played 17 minutes, 12 minutes last night.
I mean, he's been playing
DMPs. He had like 3 DMPs in the playoffs.
He playing 1,200 more % than he was a couple weeks, 10 days ago.
Exactly right.
So, but it's an overpay, but he's still been making an impact, and he still gives them different looks that guys like Rajon and maybe Pat Bev, when those two guys were playing a little more, could do. But
and that's why this is a 7-game series. I mean, like 100%, because you just don't know what you're going to get from everybody involved outside of really Mitchell and Leonard. Mitchell and Kawhi are the surest things in this series.
So let me ask you this. Is this just a tale of Paul George and Kawhi playing bad the first 2 games, and then they started playing better when they got to LA, and now they're the better team?
Yeah, that was how the last series was too.
Yeah. Because, dude, to start the series, Paul George was 12 of 35.
Yeah.
So we know what he was doing to start the series in Utah. Who would you take if you had to pick somebody to win it?
Utah, because they have the home court advantage. That's it. If you told me that LA had home court advantage, not because I think that LA is so great at home, but because of all the reasons we just talked about, and because of how hard it is to play in Utah, right? Whether it's the air situation or just that their fans have always showed up.
I'm nervous that Donovan Mitchell has a bad game and I get destroyed.
But he's just, man, we saw this last year.
He's been going crazy every game. He goes
crazy every game. He did it last year in the bubble too. Dude, that guy's a hooper, man. Like y'all laughed at me when I was like Donovan Mitchell should be an MVP candidate earlier in the year. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell is a fucking hooper. Like he's a gamer. The guy comes to play when it matters. Every game. So, like, he is 100. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves because Utah is kind of looked at as a machine. But I'm sorry, man. This dude's a superstar. So, they need Mike Conley back, though. And, like, these hamstrings in the playoffs, man. Who would have known the story of the 2021 playoffs would be hamstrings? Conley, James, these hammies.
Hammies are no, dude.
Maybe you shouldn't have had these guys come back to play basketball after 5 weeks off, maybe,
That's soft tissue, bro.
Yeah.
Well, listen to this. The Clippers offense in game 3 and 4 are averaging 134 points per 100 possessions.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous.
That's elite.
That's insane. 133 points per 100 possessions. Come on, dog. That's ridiculous. So we'll see.
They've held Utah to 104 and 106 the last 2 games. So their defense has been good too.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We'll see what happens in game 5. What would you make the line? It might be out already. Let me see. Let me check my phone. But what would you? Was it Utah minus 5?
Utah minus 4.5.
Let's see if it's up. 2.5. Utah minus 2.5. Minus 114. So it's like minus 3.
Yeah, you're paying for the 2.5.
You're paying for the 2.5, but total's 222. Utah minus 139.
222 is interesting.
Yeah, you think that's low?
Well, with how well the Clippers have been playing on offense and the fact that you think that Utah is going to put up some points at home, I think that's low. That's what the game was at last game, but Utah only put up 104. I guess, I don't know, you look at this series, 221, 228, 238, but that was the game the Clippers blew them out, 222.
It's right around there.
It's right around there.
I mean, I would have to go over just purely off of like this game is pivotal. Yeah. Whoever wins this game probably wins the series. Maybe not, but they'll be in a really good position because we know what happened with Dallas. Dallas won Game 5 and then lost 2 straight. But Utah is not Dallas. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Not at all. Not even close. Hey, real quick? What do you think about that? Like 30 seconds. That Luka story. A lot of bad stories coming out about the Luka Dallas relationship the last couple of weeks. Whether it's that he doesn't get along with Porzingis, they got Haralabob out here calling plays essentially.
Yeah. My take on that is it's no different than my take on the Aaron Rodgers piece. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, an article came out. Tim Cato of The Athletic did a front office breakdown of the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic's relationship with the key character in the story was Haralabos Voulgaris, big time analytical, sports bettor, very successful dude, very smart dude, but also like a very condescending type of guy.
He'll let you know how smart he is.
He thinks you're an idiot and he's smart and has all the answers, and he's not afraid to let you know that type of guy. Yeah. I don't know.
Seems like the type of guy you wouldn't want to work with in a group setting.
But that's purely off of like just me. And he's a big poker player like me. So I know of Buddy and I've read a lot of his stuff. Yeah. No, I've just read a lot of his shit. I know of dude.
Was he a poker guy? Is that where he got on originally?
He was a poker guy. He was just always like an analytical guy. And poker got a lot of math to it. So he was involved with that. But he's a lifer sports bettor. But anytime you read any of his stuff, it's very like, listen to me.
Or you hear him on podcasts, things like that.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And that type of shit.
Sure.
My thought is you run everything through Luka.
Everything.
You don't want him to be in a position where he's signing this super max deal that's going to be the highest, add-on of a rookie deal or extension ever at $200 million since he's all-team NBA the last couple of years. And then have him looking for a way out in 3 years, 2 years. Because he's going to sign the biggest extension he can at 22 or 23 or wherever he is for the 5-year extension. But he needs to be happy at all costs. If you're running the Mavericks, that motherfucker needs to retire in Dallas.
Yeah.
Period.
Needs to be Dirk 2.0.
Whatever needs to be done to make him happy. If you have to make all the food in that motherfucker Slovenian food, I don't care what it is. It needs to be done. He needs to be happy. It's no different. All this, no player is bigger than the team. That shit is a bunch of garbage.
That ship has sailed a long time ago.
Because Luka Doncic is the team.
Is the team.
So you need to make sure he's happy across the board. Make sure you're doing whatever you got to do to make him happy. I don't think it's been. It sounds like it's not down the road where it can't be. The relationships can't be repaired.
Well, and Haralabob's contract is up, and I mean, if they re-signed him after that story, you would have to.
This is
really question what they're doing. Yeah, just hey man, thank you, appreciate it.
This is a simple conversation of Mark Cuban going down to talk to dude and being like, "Yo, how you feeling?
Yeah, is everything good?"
Put him on the jet. Take him wherever he wants to go. Go have a meeting. Go have a fly-ass meeting in wherever. And be like, yo, Luka, let's link for a couple of days. I'll, bring your homies, whatever the fuck you got to do.
Yep.
Go talk to him and just get the beat, man. Make sure that communication needs to be open.
Yeah, always.
Luka if I'm Mark Cuban, Luka texted me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what the fuck going on?
What do you need? What do you need?
Yeah, what do you need? Were you good?
Yeah.
Everything good?
Yep.
Like, yeah, exactly.
And you're a business dude, man. This is your biggest asset and your largest business. So
yeah, man. Have him involved in decisions. And I'm not saying let Luka do whatever he wants, but he needs to be involved and he needs to know why certain things are happening. This is why we're keeping a dude that you may not like. Or this is why we're doing this or doing that. Don't keep him in the dark like you hear all these stories about Aaron Rodgers and all these other superstars over the years about, I didn't even know, they didn't even talk to me. I don't know nothing about this shit.
Well, unlike the Packers, you have a team owner. Remember, we talked about that.
Yeah.
The lack of team owner. You have one, Mark Cuban. Yeah, make that call. Go over there, holler at him. Yeah, and I agree. Like, he doesn't need to have every say in everything, but he should be involved. And it sounds like with that story, it's just like a lot of, he doesn't really fuck with dude, doesn't understand why dude is the one who's doing all this and, whatever, making gestures on the sidelines and all that bullshit. So it just seems like he really doesn't fuck with this dude, which to me seems like an easy solution. What has Bob done? I mean, what major move other than did he draft Jalen Brunson? If he did that, great job. Other than that, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. The article.
I did think it was interesting that Cuban, the one thing they did say about the Mavericks is that the continuity that they've had as an organization, like, he does not like making changes.
Yeah, like how the front office has been a hierarchy forever.
Front office has been the same. I mean, Rick Carlisle's been there forever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Yep. It's Chicago, man. We got some Sylvanians out in Chicago, man.
Yo, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
what?
Look, man, we got it all. You ever been to Devon? We got everything out here.
Yeah,
everything.
Real shit.
We'll find somewhere for you.
Yes, sir.
More than enough.
Let's talk Philly, Atlanta, and then we'll get into Nets Bucks before that game tips here in 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, you ever just wanted a series to be over? That's how I feel about Philly and Atlanta.
Yeah, just because I think Philly's gonna take care of business.
Yeah, and it's just like, what are we doing here? And even if Atlanta won, it's like, what are we doing here? It's just, I have zero interest in this series overall. Like, I'm watching it. I think last night was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of over this series. But man, Philly looked like they were running away with that game and essentially running away with the series because no way they were going to be able to do anything in game 5, right? It just looked like they were going to run away with that one. I don't know what happened in the second half. I don't know what happened to Joel Embiid in the second half. But the thing with Atlanta, a team that's an offensive ball club that knows that they're an offensive ball club, you can't let them hang around in a game. You can't let them start going on a run. You cannot let them do what they did last night. That is my takeaway from this game. What was Joel Embiid? 0 for 10 in the second half?
0 for 12 in the second half.
0 for 12. I don't know how a big goes 0 for 12.
Bad shots, too.
Yeah.
A lot of, one-legged deep jumpers.
Trying
to close the game.
Yep.
But to think about him going 0 for 12, they at one point, Philly was up 18. They blew that, gave that back. Atlanta comes back, wins 103. Atlanta won 103-100 at home, and Embiid they won by 3 points, and Embiid went 0 for 12 in the second half. And they had
38 points in the second half.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this too, by the way. This is major slanted because I have a good chunk of money on Philly to win the series, so I'm also very biased currently, but I still think Philly takes care of business. I'm not even looking at any type of hedge opportunity or anything like that. But can I tell you my problem with Doc Rivers?
Yeah,
I can tell you my problem with Doc.
Yeah, it's all good. It's a safe place.
Why doesn't Doc doesn't like to call timeouts when other teams are just running them up and down the floor?
Never has.
I cannot. He's never has, bro.
Never has.
I do not understand it.
Never has. He has the Phil Jackson mentality.
He fucking refuses to call timeouts.
Yeah.
I don't understand, bro.
Doc will let you back in the game uninterrupted.
He'll let you back in the game uninterrupted.
Yeah, Doc will do that.
I think they had a run yesterday where Philly had already gave some back, but Philly was up like 12.
Yeah.
Atlanta starts going crazy, threes, floaters, bang, 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 bang. Crowd is going ballistic. And Embiid was off the floor. They had no real offensive guys to go to. And let's have a serious conversation about your boy Ben Simmons, by the way. We're going to get to that here in the next 60 seconds. But dog, you're coming down on offense. Every possession is shit.
Terrible.
And then every possession on the flip side is great for Atlanta. They're hitting all their shots, and the building is going nuts. And you just over and over take it out of bounds. take it out of bounds. The crowd is deafening. Bro, call a fucking time out, bro. I think last night Philly had, it was like 5 minutes left and Philly had like 5 timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, you can't take these motherfuckers to the next round.
He's always been that way.
Been like that.
Always been that way. Going back to Boston, he's always been that way. He does. And that was like the Phil Jackson philosophy of no, I don't call a timeout when the team's going on a run. But
you got Michael Jordan on the
you got Michael
team.
Jordan and Scottie Pippen, not Joel Embiid. And I don't want to do anything offensively, Ben Simmons.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like. Yo, man, call timeout. And then on the flip side, Philly would bang back a little bit. 4 points, 5 points, 6 points, timeout. Atlanta banging timeout.
Atlanta's like,
right away. Like, no. Hold on. It's not gonna get back up to 16, 17. Like, timeout. So that's my only beef with Doc Rivers. I think he knows his players. I love his rotation. I love everything he's doing with the squad. But bro, give me a timeout, man. When possession after possession, y'all keep getting murdered. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, man. Embiid, hey, listen. If Embiid doesn't score 20 points, Philly never winning. Well, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely. Because Tobias is going to do his thing regardless. But man, yeah, and I think it's about that time to have that Ben Simmons talk. I don't get it.
Yeah, let's talk about this Ben Simmons.
At some level, I get the not shooting a 3 thing.
Yeah.
What I don't get is when you're a player who's clearly capable of scoring 25 to 30 points, like we've seen him do it, right? At least 20. But we have seen Ben Simmons go for 30 points, right? Like he has the game to do it. Why are you so reluctant? Like, especially when your team needs you and you're getting bludgeoned in the second half to do anything offensively. Like, yo, don't get me wrong. I love the defense. I love the fact that he can guard 1 through 5. I love the fact that he's given Trey some problems this series. I love the fact that he's a playmaker and he makes smart plays. I just don't at this point understand how in the playoffs and you're supposed to be the number 2, not the number 2 option, but the second best player on this team, and you shoot the ball 10 times. You were 5 for 10, so it's not like you were cold. I don't understand why you don't go looking for anything resembling your offense.
He's not even looking to get a touch.
Not at all.
On a pass. The whole second half, especially the fourth quarter. He's not even – they're playing 4-on-5 on offense in the fourth quarter with Ben Simmons on the floor. That's just the facts. He's not looking to shoot anything at all, do anything, go to the rack. I think part of it is the mental thing where it's like he knows shooting jumpers is not his thing. And he doesn't want to go to the rack.
He doesn't want to go to the line.
And I was just going to say, he doesn't want to go to the rack and end up on the free throw line.
1 for 5. Then if this is all true, if it's like, yo, I won't shoot threes because I can't do it. And mentally it's just like, no, like I won't even shoot a 3 when like the opportunity presents itself and I'm wide open. And if it's also like, okay, well then I also don't want to get fouled because I don't want to have to deal with that. Then there's some serious mental toughness questions you really got to start asking about him. If everything is just like a hesitation to do it because you're scared of the outcome, right? Like, I get if you don't shoot threes because it's just not part of your game. Like, I think a lot has been made of him not shooting threes.
It's not coming in.
And it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But I have seen him get 30 points without having to do that. Like, I've seen him go down low. I've seen him hit a little bit of a mid-range. I've seen him be aggressive, right? When Joel was out, he's done that. He's carried them offensively. So what is it about when he comes back that you don't even want to be the number 3 option on this ball club? Like, I don't get that, man. I fully don't understand why. Give me 18. And if you look, I looked at it, his NBA career, his scoring average has gone down like every year. Like he scores less and less and less. Like it's not
right.
Yeah.
This is the other thing. Trae Young can't leave the floor for them. So they're 4-on-5 on defense.
Yeah.
Because go at Trae Young. Whoever he's guarding, go at him, right? Yeah. But if they got a guy on offense that won't go at anybody or anything,
won't even go at Trae.
Won't even go at Trae, won't take the ball, then it's like, yo, Trae is all good.
Yeah.
You're hiding Trey for the Hawks because you refuse to do anything on offense.
Like, he really takes that point guard shit seriously in the sense that he's trying to play like an old school, like complete setup man point guard. And it's like, dog, you are a perimeter player. Like, let's keep it real here, right? Like, okay, again, you're not a shooter, but like, your position is out there to score. You need to score. You cannot have 11 points on 10 shots and go 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Like, that's a whole nother story.
Quick, it's to the point where if the shot clock is running out, he's still looking to pass that bitch for someone else to shoot up some desperation shit.
Yeah.
He is not looking to do anything on the offensive end, period. And then another comment is, I don't want to see you switch off Trey at all in the fourth.
Never.
Don't switch off. Trey, when Trey Young sees him switch, he gets a fucking breath of fresh air. Yeah. And he is the happiest motherfucker in this building.
Yep.
Every time Ben Simmons switches off of Trey, he's like, thank God. I can now go to work. I could get to the paint. It's either floater or I'm kicking it to John Collins in the corner or Bogdanovich or whoever else. But yeah, man, he's going to have to start going at somebody on the offensive end.
You can't be insecure on the basketball court, man. That's what it sounds like. So, yeah, because there's going to be those. I mean, again, you're not going to expect Joel to go 0 for 12, but he's a big man. There's a ton of different things that could take him out of a game. It could be foul trouble. It could be them doing whatever they want to do to stop him, like whatever it might be, right? Like, you have to be ready to be that next scorer. Like, Tobias Harris is the third best player. Like, let him be that. You got to be aggressive. And if I had never seen him score 30, then I wouldn't be saying this. I've just seen him go off on offense. Whatever his version of going off on offense is, like, I've seen him do it. It's in there. At this point, it's a choice to not do it. And I just don't understand, especially on a team like Atlanta that is going out there trying to score $130 every night.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, man. Like,
they're not giving you much resistance,
and it's not like and Ben, it's not like you're going out there and you're getting 16 dimes either. Like, let's keep it real. You're not Rubio, you're not Rondo. Like, you're not out there where it's like, hey, I know I don't really score, but I'm getting 16, 17, 18 assists. Like, you're not doing that. You're getting 9, 10, and 11, and it looks cool because you're 6'10". But like, come on, dog. You're not at that level of point guard yet where like you cannot score. So, yeah, it is crazy, and it makes me think, like, I remember when they were talking about how they put him on the table for Harden, and I was like, why would you do that? You're the best defensive team in the land. And it's like, man, fuck that. If Harden had been on this team, this would be a fucking problem. Yeah. Problemo.
No, for real.
Because guess what? He's getting 30 and he's getting you your assist. So now what? You know what I'm saying?
And they got and they got shot makers and Seth and Tobias and Shake Milton.
So if that's the case, you have to lock Trey. If you're not going to score, you better hope be holding Trey Young to 15 points and saying that's why I wasn't scoring.
And that's
Trey was 5 for 20.
And that's what he was doing early.
Yeah,
he had fucking Trey Young in a straitjacket early, and then on the fourth, he's doing a couple switch. I'm like, yo, you can't be switching here, bro.
You call that off, like,
let me go through that screen. Like, don't worry about that. I'm not switching off. So you can leave Trey up top to ISO. Like, not happening.
I wonder what Joel thinks about that, though. I wonder if he's like, yo, bro, are you gonna fucking
start getting some help, or
I'm fucking tired? Yeah, right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
it's true. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Ben Simmons on the offensive end. Keep an eye on Doc Rivers on some of these runs with him not calling timeout. I've seen this shit for years now. That's my only problem with Doc, man. Call a fucking timeout. Get your boys a little breather before the fucking stadium implodes. Yep. So
I still got Philly in 6.
Yeah, me too. I got Philly back-to-back wins here to close it out.
Yep.
Everything went wrong for them down the stretch, and they still lost by 3 points. So
yep, exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to Bucks Nets.
All of a sudden, interesting.
All of a sudden, PJ Tucker, Dennis Rodman.
PJ.
All of a sudden, PJ Tucker is Dennis
bothering
Rodman.
KD.
KD is out there by himself, bringing the ball up, doing everything. He's looking for help now. So,
which is
interesting.
Yeah, and very interesting because before we get even to the breakdown,
So
for a guy who we consider, for a guy who we consider, over the last 20 years, the second best player in the NBA, right? Like I would say he's the second best player.
Yeah.
We've never seen him in a lone wolf situation ever.
No, he's always been on the solid.
He's always had another guy there that can score a lot of points at least.
A superstar. It's always been a superstar. If we're keeping it 100. Yeah.
And this is not a KD knock at all, but it'll be interesting to see because it doesn't sound like Kyrie's coming back anytime soon. And I don't think Harden's coming back anytime soon either. Like he's going to have to finish this series. It's just KD.
No.
Is Harden playing tonight?
Harden's going to play tonight. It says he's going to give it a go.
Okay. It's a hamstring though. We'll see.
Yeah, this eerily reminds me of some Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember when Anthony Davis tried to play?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we've never seen KD like in this situation where it's like, okay, I need to go. Like we talk about all the time, like he goes for 35 on 15 shots. We've never seen KD come out and be like, I gotta go for 50 tonight.
Right.
Like, I gotta go for 50 tonight. Like so, if we see like 25 shot KD, like I'm all here for it. And he shot 25 last game, but. Man, this series all of a sudden got interesting with that Kyrie injury. It really did. It was looking like they were going to cruise. Like I expected Milwaukee to get game 3, first game at home. Yeah. They came out like that, but
they weren't going to get swept, right?
They weren't going to get swept. But I really thought that this was going to be over in 5, maybe 6. Now all of a sudden, this shit has 7 written on it. Could be less. It could completely swing. If it swung completely in Milwaukee's favor, I wouldn't be surprised. Like if they came out and they won tonight, I would not be surprised at all. Which is crazy considering where we were on this series really after game 1. Certainly after game 2.
Well, look, like just like the Utah Clippers, the Nets will have the home court for the best of 3 coming up here starting in game 5.
Which isn't as big as a home court advantage as Utah, no, not even close,
right? It's an interesting point about Durant because I would love him to come out and score like 52.
Yeah, what's that even look like?
On like 28 shots, like 18 to 28 type shit, just threes, getting to the free throw line, doing everything.
Saying fuck it, like the full repertoire.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I still wouldn't have him handle the rock like at all. Let Mike James, let Landry Shamet, Harden now. We'll see how that comes out. But I wouldn't let him handle the ball too much. Just get him the ball where he wants it on the wing, on the elbow, and let him go to work. Look up the status on James, but I read that before we hopped on. But I don't know. I don't know how impactful he'll be. We'll see.
If I told you that LeBron has twice as many career 50-point games as KD, would that seem right to you?
Yeah, KD
he doesn't. KD has 6 career 50-point games, which to me is crazy.
He has 6.
6.
Well, LeBron has
12. Yeah, I'm trying to think of 50. But LeBron does have those games though. Yeah, but LeBron will fuck around. And when he has those games where he has the look. Especially like in Miami back in those days, like he could do that. But yeah, I was surprised at that.
I would have guessed LeBron had 7 or 8.
How many do you think Carmelo has? This is the most interesting list I've ever seen now that I'm looking at this.
4.
Yeah, that's spot on. How many do you think Russ has 5, Dame has 12?
I was going to say Dame had 9. Dame.
Who do you think has the most? It's easy.
And low-key, Dame got 9 in the last like 4 seasons. Probably.
I got one for you. All right. Who do you think the top 5 career 54, and don't be in order, career top 5 50-point guys are? One of them is still active. Number 1 should be easy.
Jordan.
No.
Kareem?
Yes. Kareem. No, not Kareem.
Will. Okay.
Will had 118 50.
Yeah, hey man, come on, dog. Somebody get
Hall of Fame numbers on every level, baby.
This boy Will.
We need the film.
Yeah.
All right, so Will is number 1. You said Mike. He's number 2.
Yeah.
Who's number 3?
Number 3, 50-point games.
This guy has 25.
25 50-point games. It's not Kareem.
No, Kareem is not. Kareem's 10th. Kareem's 10th.
Kareem just scored 35 every night.
Yeah, for 40 years. 40 years.
30
with the sky hook. How come no one's perfected the sky hook?
Yo, give me a hint. Give me a hint on number 3.
I mean, who's going out there trying to score 50? That's a mentality. I gave it away with the word mentality.
Bean.
Bean. Fourth is an active player. So Kobe has 25.
Yeah.
4 is an active player with 23.
What was Jordan's number?
Jordan at 31.
31 50-point playoff games.
No, this is just
all games. This is 50-point games. Okay.
Yeah. Third was Kobe with 25.
Yeah.
Fourth is an active player with 23. It makes sense because this dude, he might have had it 1 year, had like 8 or 9.
Is it Dame?
No, Dame at 12. This guy has 23 career 50-point games. Next highest active player is Dame and LeBron tied with 12. 23 50-point games. Think about 2 years ago. This guy was putting up 50-point triple doubles, 40-point triple doubles.
James Harden.
James has 23 50-point games.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm
fifth.
Tripping. I should have known that. Yeah.
Fifth has to be the most underappreciated guy of all time. I'll just give it. You never guess it. But 17, Elgin Baylor. Dog, I think. I need the Elgin Baylor film.
LA Lakers.
So it goes Baylor, Rick Barry, LeBron, Dame, Allen Iverson, then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Right outside the top 10 is Steph Curry with 9. Dog, James has 23 50-point games.
Steph Curry has 9, and James has 23.
23. James has twice as many as LeBron.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
James is 4th all time. He'll pass Kobe before it's all said and done. He might pass Mike.
Yeah.
Never pass Wilt, but
elite scorer, bro. One of the best ever, no doubt.
Elite scoring. So I thought that was an interesting stat. KD only 6.
Yeah. So this series is completely flipped. Bucks Nets.
Yeah.
Game tips here in like an hour.
Mm-hmm. This one's in Brooklyn, right? Yep.
In Brooklyn. We'll see what happens with James. Do you think so? Say James goes out just like AD did. Can Durant really? Can Durant do it? Can he lead those boys to 2 more W's? Just to buy his guys some time to get back for the next round.
Yeah, I just think it'll be hard because he's not going to have it. Like who's the offense going to go? Like who you're talking about? There are 2 guys that can run offense on that team are out. Like James and then Kyrie. Like at least I know Kyrie's not your traditional point guard, but he's a fucking point guard. Like he can handle the ball and get KD in the spots where he can do his thing.
Right.
I think you're going to be looking at a situation where like we've never really seen KD have to think like that. So like if he's going to be the one getting all the dimes and running the offense through him, I mean it's not going to be Mike James. Like so,
right.
Man, I don't know. I don't think so. No, I think that would be a slap in the face to Milwaukee to be like, yeah, Brooklyn's still going to roll them. If you get Harden for 5 minutes and then it's just KD and a bunch of other guys who look a lot better next to good players, then you're going to run into some serious issues. I don't think that's enough. And that's not an anti-KD thing at all. Milwaukee's a good team.
Who's the second most important player after KD on the Nets now that those guys are out?
Blake Griffin.
Yeah?
Yep.
He's got to go nuts.
Yeah, because he's a guy that can. He's a guy that has before in his lifetime. Like, yeah, I think mentally, like, you need Blake Griffin to come out and be like, yo, I'm going to be Blake Griffin of 8 years ago. Whatever I have left. Yeah, I think it would be Blake.
Joe Harris has got to be number
3. Probably Joe Harris, actually.
Number 2.
Yeah, probably Joe Harris, then Blake. And then I think you're going to see a lot of Jeff Green. You're going to see like 35 minutes of Jeff Green today because it's got to be guys who can score.
Easy a ton of Jeff Green.
Yeah, a lot of Jeff Green.
But he's just getting back too. This is the problem. But he's a vet. This is the problem with Joe Harris being the second most important guy. Is Joe Harris is not only reason you know who Joe Harris is because he ain't got to worry about doing his own thing.
Guys that look better next to other guys.
You feel me? The reason you know Joe Harris's name is because people have been getting him the ball in great spots, and he's been just doing what he does best, knocking down jump shots.
Yeah.
If teams are gonna have to key in on him and be like, yo, we have to stop Joe Harris, he gets a lot easier to slow up.
Yeah. And I think on the other side, man, first off, Giannis, please, for the life of me, just stop shooting threes, man. Like, it's never a good idea. Like, he's like the anti Ben Simmons. but
he can't.
He can't do it.
He feels so disrespected by it that he just feels like he has to take some. But yeah,
there's a better play.
Yeah,
there's a better play. Like, go down low.
Yeah, it's called do what the fuck you've been doing.
Do what you've been doing. Exactly. Yeah. So, I think the others.
How about this? Or take 2 or 3 steps in, bro. They giving you that too.
Yeah. It's a little bit closer, a little bit easier.
They're standing at the free throw line.
They're in the free throw line. You don't have to shoot the 3. Yeah.
Go take a fucking couple dribbles up and shoot that bitch from the middle of the key.
Yeah.
You ain't got to shoot the 3, bro. So yeah.
So I think that, and I think that again, Milwaukee, like we clowned them the first 2 games, but they're a good ball club. And I think when you take Harden and Kyrie out the mix, that's not the same Nets team. They don't go deep. That's the problem. They have no depth at all. So you take away 2 out of their top 3 guys, and that last, I'm trying to say this without it sounding anti-KD, but some guys are not like, give me the ball and everything goes through me. Like, he's not Harden. He's not that type of player. Like, he is, I'm a scorer. Like, I am here to score. I'll get it in my spots and I do my thing. Just make sure you can get it to me in my spot or whatever. Like, I don't know the right way to articulate this, but you know what I'm saying. It's not like the KD show. It never has been. So
Nick,
I just think it'll be an interesting spot.
She said, watch your language, bro.
I didn't even say anything.
Shout out Mama Harvey. What's up, Ma Harvey?
But yeah, hi Mom. But yeah, so that would be my only issue with that, man. Like, I think that's going to be a tough order because we've never seen KD go out there and shoot the ball 30 times.
Yeah,
he just doesn't do it.
He just doesn't do it. He's too efficient for that, and
he's not his game.
Listen, if you're taking 30 shots, you're at least going to get 5 or 6 really, really bad ones in there. So, and he doesn't like to do that. So I agree with that. I'm excited to see. Part of me wants to take the Bucks, bro. It's almost like I'm watching the Lakers and the Suns. And they just like you couldn't believe that the Suns could beat up the Lakers like this.
Yeah.
Like people, you can't believe that the Bucks could just beat up the Nets without 2 guys. And it's like, man, they showed you what happened last time. They won 107-96, but it was way worse than that early. At one point, they were really, really rolling.
Yep.
So now you're going to roll out a injured James Harden on a hammy that we have yet to see what it'll look like. But it just feels very Phoenix Lakers to me. Like when that shit flipped, the Lakers were rolling. It all of a sudden flipped, and the Phoenix just took off. This shit flipped. Kyrie goes down, and now all of a sudden the Bucks are taking off. It seems very similar.
And Harden needs to be able to move well. Like his game is predicated on getting where he wants to go and doing his thing, like stop and go, like herky jerky type.
Backs,
step backs. Like the hammy's gonna affect that big time.
Exactly. So
unless you're gonna use him as like a decoy, but but that's not to say that KD can't go for 50, man. Like I don't want to look stupid tomorrow when KD goes for 50 and 10 assists and is like, what do y'all mean I couldn't do this? I'm Kevin Durant. Like, and he would say some stuff like that too. But I think that unless you can get Kyrie back and get James close to 100%, if you can get James close to 100%, which doesn't sound like it's going to happen, you can withstand not having Kyrie. You got to have one of the 2 of them back playing high-level basketball to win this series.
If I'm the Bucks, I'm just not letting him score 50.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Fucking Blake Griffin's going to have to score 27.
Yeah.
Joe Harris is going to have to score 20. Jeff Green's going to have to score 17. That, you know what I'm saying?
Well, remember your original question before this series was like, how do they guard all these guys? Well, now it's like, wait, all of a sudden they have a surplus of defenders.
Exactly.
Kevin Durant. You got the former defensive player of the year in Giannis. You got a bulldog on Dean Holiday, and you have a really, really, really good defender in Middleton.
And PJ. And PJ's been giving him problems. Yeah.
So you got 4 guys right now that you can essentially just, he's not getting anywhere that he wants to go. Giannis, PJ, you guys make life hell for him.
Exactly.
Let's have Blake beat us. Let's have Bruce Brown beat us. Let's have fucking Jeff Green, who's like the most inconsistent player in the world, come out and beat us. Like, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. That would be. There's just no way that the Nets and Kevin Durant, if James ends up being pretty hobbled and isn't James Harden, you just cannot let him beat you.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. He cannot score 50. He cannot score 45. And you just can't let him get loose like that. Get the ball out of his hands as much as you possibly can. All right, my people. That's it. No catch up. Sports Talk via Chicago. June 15th, 2021. Bucks Nets tip in the hour. Make sure y'all lock in. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. Video, audio. Tell a friend, rate, review, leave a review on the iTunes for us, man. Helps us spread and reach some other people's inbox and notification center that may not already be there. So make sure you rock with us there. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. No catch up sports talk via Chicago. We out here.